Hello, my dear students of first year. I'm your English teacher and I warmly welcome you to today's English class. Today we are going to learn how to solve the question of reference to context. Students, this is very important question from the examination point of view. A 5 marks question based on reference to context often appears in your exams. In this question, you are given a stanza from a poem and are asked to explain it with reference to its context. Therefore, it is essential to know the correct method and format for answering this question. To secure full marks, you must follow a standard and well organized format. A good answer not only shows your understanding of the poem but also creates a positive impression on the examiner. Today, I am going to teach you a simple and effective format that will help you answer any reference to context question confidently and score maximum marks. First of all, let's understand the different parts of the reference to context answer and how each part should be written. Before starting the solution, write the proper heading explanation with reference to context. This heading should be clear and neatly written because it tells the examiner exactly what type of question you are attempting. Now, let us come to the first and most important part, which is reference. In this section, you have to mention the name of the poem and the name of the poet. If the poem belongs to a particular book or collection and it is known, you may mention that as well to make your answer attractive and well organized. This part should preferably be written with a blue marker or blue pen. A simple format for writing the reference is these lines have been taken from the poem, and here you will write the poem name written by and then by the poet name. First, you will write the title of the poem within inverted commas and then write the poet's name. Remember, there is no need to put inverted commas around the poet's name because it is already a proper noun. Simply write the poet's name clearly, preferably in capital letters. And another effective format is the given lines are an extract from the poem. Write the name of the poem composed by the celebrated poet and then poet's name. Students pay special attention to one very important point. The name of the poem and the name of the poet must be absolutely correct. If either of them is written incorrectly, the examiner may consider the answer incorrect and you can lose most or all of the marks. Therefore, always memorize the poem title and the poet's name accurately before attempting the question. Now, students, I am going to help you further by demonstrating a complete answer using a stanza from one of your prescribed poems, A Bird Came Down the Walk. By looking at this example, you will clearly understand how to write the reference correctly in your examination. As you can see on the screen, the reference has been written according to the pattern that I have already explained. The title of the poem is written within inverted commas, while the poet's name is written separately and clearly. This is the standard format that you should follow whenever you attempt a reference to context question. Remember, learning the format is not enough. You should also practice writing it correctly so that during the examination you can write it confidently without making any mistakes. A correct reference creates a strong first impression and helps you present your answer in a professional and organized manner. In reference to context, the context tells the reader where the quoted lines fit in the poem or where does these lines belong to. These lines are taken from the poem. In this part of the poem, the poet is describing what is happening and expressing his thoughts and feelings. The lines belong to the central idea of the poem and help develop its message. So in this way, you will write the context, or you may look at this simple pattern. These lines occur in the poem when the poet is describing, explaining, showing what the poet was describing at that time. You may look at the example at the beginning of the poem. These lines occur at the beginning of the poem when the poet is observing a bird closely. The example has been taken from the same poem, A Bird Came Down the work. You may look at the proper answer, which I am displaying here. Look at this context, that is according to the same stanza. Now I will explain the whole explanation and critical appreciation part of the reference to context. First of all, students should be careful about the spelling of the word explanation because it is often written incorrectly. In this section, we should write 3 paragraphs and include at least one quote from the given lines. However, the quote should not be written at the beginning or at the end of the explanation. In the first paragraph, we explain the meaning of the lines in simple and easy English. We describe what is happening in the poem, the ideas, images, or emotions the poet wants to convey, and how the scene affects the reader. In the second paragraph, we discuss the poetic devices used in the stanza. These may include imagery, simile, metaphor, personification, alliteration, symbolism, or any other figure of speech. We should mention only those devices that are actually present in the given lines and explain their effect. In the third paragraph, we explain the central idea of the stanza, the message or moral lesson that the reader learns from it. We may also add our personal response by explaining what we think or feel about the poem and why we find it meaningful or interesting. Now, as shown in the example, the first paragraph explains the lines. The second paragraph discusses the poetic devices. I am talking about the heading explanation and critical appreciation. And the third paragraph focuses on the central idea, moral message, and personal opinion. By following this method, students can write a complete and effective explanation and critical appreciation. Critical appreciation means critical notes or critical theme and score maximum marks in their examination, inshallah. With this, we conclude today's lesson. Thank you for watching and learning with me. May Allah grant you success, confidence, and excellence in all your endeavors. Take care, keep studying, and I will see you in the next lecture. Allah Hafiz.